Google uses machine learning in more than 90% of their products. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can learn machine learning by following 4 simple steps. So, let's get into the video. Before we actually step into how we can learn machine learning, let us first actually acknowledge what machine learning actually is. Now, if you'll see, machine learning consists of two very simple words. The first one is machine and the second one is learning. Now, if I'm a layman and I want to put up a very simple definition, all I can say about machine learning is if I can make machines learn, that's what machine learning is. Very simple. Now, this is not an exact definition, but in a very simple language, if I can make machines learn, that is what is called machine learning. Now, let me add one more factor to this definition. If I can make machines learn from previous experiences, that is called machine learning. Now, of course, machines cannot learn on their own, so we need to give machines some previous data so that they can analyze it, extract the valuable data, and then give us the output. One of the very good examples of machine learning is your Facebook tagging. We'll get into it, but let's first complete the definition. But hang on, why do we actually need machine learning? Of course, we need machine learning to get a better output. Now, taking that factor, when we add that into our definition, it completes it. And our definition becomes, if we can make machines learn from the previous experiences so that they can give us a better output, that is what is called machine learning. Now, let's take some of the examples from our day-to-day life. One of the very good example would be your Google Now, Siri, and if you're using Cortana, then maybe yes, Cortana too. And some of the high-end examples would be your self-driving car. Now, if you would have noticed, some of your emails automatically go to your spam folders. That is nothing but an application of machine learning, which uses natural language processing. Now, let me tell you how Facebook tagging actually works. If you can understand that, let me tell you, most of your machine learning concepts will be clear. Now, to explain this Facebook tagging, let me take two examples. First is Ramesh and the second one is Suresh. And the third one is me, Stephen. Okay. Now, say suppose I, Suresh and Ramesh went to a party. Okay. And we not took selfies, but we took group face. Okay. Not selfies, but we took group face. Alright. So, next day what I do is I go on to Facebook and I upload the picture. And remember, I just didn't take one picture. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I took many pictures. And now when it is the time to go and upload one picture, I'm going to upload only that picture in which I look good. I do not care if in that picture Ramesh or Suresh looks good or not. And I believe it is something that everyone does the same. Now I uploaded a picture. Ramesh looks good, but Suresh eyes are closed. Now what I do is, I know Suresh does not look good. I upload a picture, I tag it to Ramesh, but I do not tag it to Suresh. But this is something that happens right now. The moment I click on post the picture, Suresh gets a notification on Facebook that Stephen uploaded a picture that might include you, although I never tagged him. I believe that is something that might also happen in your case. Let us try to understand. This is actually a very good application of machine learning. So what Facebook actually did, it took entire picture from Suresh's profile and passed it to that same calculated system. And while it was passing from the calculated system, it kept on telling that this is Suresh, this is Suresh, this is Suresh. Right? So this is actually a part what I gave in the definition that was from the previous experiences. So while Facebook took all the pictures from Suresh's profile and it kept on saying that this is Suresh, this is Suresh, this is Suresh, the calculated system or the model actually learned how Suresh looks like, right? And next time when I uploaded a picture and I did not tag Suresh, that picture again went to that same calculated system. It could recognize that in that picture there is Suresh, and therefore Suresh got the notification. Now from this example, we derive two very important terms of machine learning. The first one is training time and second one is the test time. Or you could also say, since machine learning is entirely dependent upon the data, there's one test data and the second one is train data. Now let us understand the train data. When Facebook took all the pictures from Suresh's profile and it was passing through the calculated system and telling that this is Suresh, and this process was continuously done, that was the training time. Now when I uploaded a picture on Facebook and it went through the same calculated system, that was the test time. Now since it's just an intro to machine learning video, there are many concepts to be learned here, but as of now, just make sure that there are two very important terms, training time and test time. Or you can say training data or the test data. Training data is used to train your model and test data is used to check the efficiency of your calculated system, or you can call it model. And yeah, a peek-a-boom fact. Scientists have often said that after microchip, AI and machine learning is the major breakthrough in the technology. So if you want your career to flourish, I would highly suggest you that you start learning machine learning or AI. They're quite similar to each other. I'll come out with the successing videos on how these two really differ a lot with each other. Now actually let's get into how you can get started with machine learning. Now to get started with machine learning, of course there has to be a language, right? There has to be the language. So the first step that you need to do is learn a language, and that language can either be Python or it can be in R, right? So if you're in South Pacific Asia, you would often find people using Python because guys have been using Python for a really long time in the companies and the corporate for maybe web development, gaming and all other stuff. So I would highly suggest you to learn Python because it is quite versatile. Even if you don't land up getting into a good positions at Python or becoming a data scientist, now because you know Python, you will surely find a place in a company or that will help you in your career. The first one is to learn the language. As I said, you can either choose Python or you can use R. Now after you have learned Python, you now need to shift to scientific Python. What is scientific Python actually? Now you see, machine learning is nothing but mathematics calculations. And Python is a very simple language and it is not that powerful so that it can perform those extreme mathematical calculations. So in that case, we need to learn some of the libraries, and I would namely say that would be NumPy, Matplot and Pandas. Just to give a brief, NumPy is used for mathematical calculations, Pandas is used for handling external files in Python, and Matplot is used for visualizations. So after you've learned Python, you need to learn these three libraries. That was step 2. Now let us move into step 3. Now as I said, machine learning is all about mathematics and machine learning is all about algorithms. Yes, you heard it right. The third step is going to be that you need to learn some basic algorithms. Those are probably 10 to 15 algorithms that you need to learn. One of the example would be linear regression, that is y is equal to mx plus c. That is the equation of a straight line. Or you can say there's some naive Bayes or there's some probability. So these are the algorithms that you need to learn. Once you learn these algorithms, only then you can go back and start writing your custom algorithms. So it's like you first learn those standard algorithms and then you shift. That was step number 3. Now after you have learned those algorithms, I would highly suggest you to now move into some high-end libraries that might be TensorFlow or might be something like Keras. Now when you're learning those algorithms, I would highly suggest you that either you learn with scikit-learn that's a machine learning library, or you learn it from the scratch. I mean, both are profitable, but if you know how to work on both the sides, I mean, if you can write an algorithm all the way from scratch in Python, and you can also write the code in with scikit-learn library, that's an extra cheese on pizza, right? So you need to make sure that what is your choice. So in the same way, once you have learned those 10 to 15 algorithms, you now move into TensorFlow, because our TensorFlow is usually used in the corporate side, or you can see in the research and development purpose. That's actually maintained by Google. Even scikit-learn is maintained by Google. So your step 4 would be learning TensorFlow and Keras. Now what is Keras? Now Keras is a shorthand for TensorFlow. TensorFlow is quite complicated, right? And if you start writing code with TensorFlow, it will get very long with the passage of time. So Keras gives you a shorthand for the TensorFlow. You can learn that, right? So those are the 4 steps. Now let me just put it. Now let me just have a summary. The first thing that you need to learn is either Python or R. The second one you need to learn is the libraries of Python. The third one you need to learn is those algorithms. And the fourth one that you need to learn is the TensorFlow or Keras. Now after you have done that, or even while you're doing that, I would highly suggest you to go over to YouTube. There are many courses out there. Go over to different online learning platforms, start reading books, and start developing small projects, because that will really help you to actually implement for whatever you have learned. Now one bonus point that I would like to give you here is that after you have learned all those stuff, right, after you learn all those stuff, you need to put one step for the corporate level. Because when you're in the corporate and working for a company, the company does not want you to write the code from very scratch. So you need to learn some corporate level tools, right? In that case, one of the very famous machine learning platform, that is Azure Machine Learning. To get started, it is quite easy. You need to drag and drop some of the module and start working with it, and later on it gives you a good possibility on how you can integrate some web APIs and then help them put into your some of the applications. That is something called real-time applications for machine learning. But if you're not willing to learn Azure Machine Learning, you can either move into IBM Watson. Even they have done some really good work on the machine learning and AI side. All I would say at the end of this video is that keep on learning, right? You guys who are watching my video surely come from a technology background. Keep yourself updated. And I hope this video really helped you out. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Stephen Simon. See you in the next video.